Hi, Will here for Sound on Sound at the Musicmesse show in Frankfurt on the Presonus booth with Lee, who's going to show us a new addition to the Series 3 range of mixers. So, Lee, what have we got?
Yeah, so we have the StudioLive Series 3 range of mixers. Now we've got a 16 channel, 24 channel is new for Messe 2017, and then you guys might have seen the 32 channel for NAMM. So there's a full range now. What's cool about the smaller mixers is that you still get 32 channels built inside. So with the 16, internally you've got 32, the same with the 24. So in the 24, we've got 24 analog ins, 32 digital inputs. So we're going to have some stage boxes via AVB that will come to match with the mixer during the summer. So you'll have different versions of how to use and different inputs for the mixer.
Okay, so for maybe people who don't know so much about the Series 3 then, can you talk us through some of the functions quickly?
Yeah, so the Series 3 is a brand new rework of our StudioLive series mixers. So previously our AI mixers, we didn't have moving faders and stuff like this, so with this mixer we've got touch sensitive moving faders. It's called a StudioLive, so it truly is a StudioLive desk because it's a DAW controller, so you'll fully control your DAW software with this.
Is it any DAW or?
Yeah, it'll work with over Mackie or Huey protocol.
Okay.
Obviously, will work best with our Studio One software.
Naturally.
Yeah, exactly. So that will. It's not integrated yet, but it will come in a future upgrade for firmware.
And what sort of integrations can we expect with Studio One?
It'll be similar to our Fader Port 8, if you're familiar with that. So, obviously, transport. You can see we've got our transport buttons here.
Sure.
Level control, but also we've got plug-in control via these encoders and LCD panels. So you should be doing most of your work on the desk and not just looking at the screen, right, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So then it's also an audio interface via USB. So there's 3 ways to record: USB, AVB network, so you can go direct to your computer to record. Probably the coolest thing about the desk though is SD recording.
Okay.
Multi-track SD recording with WAVs. So now you don't need your computer for the live gig. Just bring your SD card. You multi-track on this one 24 inputs plus your main, and then you can sound check back from the SD card. So
that's pretty cool. For virtual sound check as well, you can.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So when you select virtual sound check, it will route the audio from the SD card back into your channels on SD return.
Great. Okay. So, and in terms of built-in processing and effects.
Yeah, so we've redone all of the effects. On our Fat channel, we've got some really nice vintage emulated EQs and compressors. So we've got some Neve style EQs, some LA2A style compression, 1176. They're not just a nice looking graphic, they're state space modeled by our Studio One team. So they've taken an old piece of gear, taken it apart, and basically measured all of the components and built the unit in the computer. So if you check out the high frequencies and the mids and the Neve EQ are really beautiful. So, okay. And the 1176 is great for drums, really punchy. So.
And how many instances of each one can you use on each channel?
So you've got that on every input.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a good point. All of the outputs on the desk as well they're not shared. So, for example, on this guy we've got 12 physical outputs. Mm-hmm. Then you've got your main outputs plus your mono output plus 4 fixed subgroup outputs as well. So nothing is shared, and on your inputs you've got full processing as well.
So enough for a decent set of monitor mixes.
Exactly, or you can link these as headphone mixes as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Brilliant.
And then you've got processing on these output mixes as well, with a 6-band parametric EQ,
right,
compression, and then we've got a 31-band graphic, which we can put 8 instances of on maybe your mains or your mix outputs.
That's very useful indeed.
It is indeed. And one other thing with the mixed outputs, they've got 3 purposes. So you can change this from an auxiliary to a subgroup or to a matrix mix output.
Okay.
So you can redesign the console to work as your needs. User layers as well. So we've really concentrated on the workflow for this desk. Mm-hmm. So you've got user layers for the faders that you can lay out as you need. But we've also got a user layer for our processing channel. So these 8 encoders, I can maybe select to have this as my preamp or my high pass, or maybe a threshold for my compressor, so you really quickly can set up a channel.
Just put everything where you want it to be.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, okay.
So maybe you do 2 or 3 gigs with the desk, you'll have a workflow designed for what you need to work really fast. So.
And integration with an iOS app and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we've got iPad, Windows, Mac as normal, but new for these desks, we've now got Android for the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got QMix on the iPhone and Android. So QMix is really cool. It just gives you level control for the musicians, and you can decide from the desk that maybe the singer can control just monitor 1, or maybe the drummer has control of
No controls. Don't give any
no
control.
controls at all. Yeah.
Right.
Drummers get a terrible time.
I know. They're an interesting bunch.
I'm a drummer.
Quite. Excellent. Well, that's gone well. How much is this going to cost then, Lee, and when will it be available?
So this one is $2,000 for the 16 channel, $2,899 for the 24 channel. So the 16 channel will be available next month. This guy will be closer to the summer, and the 32 channel is $3,299, and that's available right now.
Is that pounds, dollars?
Sorry, euros.
Euros.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
We're in euros.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a mil.